We got some very sad news in the MLB in terms of the famous knuckleball pitcher Phil Niekro, aka Knuck Eyes. He died at age 81 yesterday. He died in his sleep after a long battle of cancer. He played 24 seasons in the MLB from 1964 and 1987. He spent 20 of those seasons from 64 to 82 with the Braves, and he went back in his final game in 87 before he retired. And in between that time, he played with the Yankees from 1984 to 85. In 1986 and 1987, he was with the Indians. And for a short time in 87, he was with the Blue Jays before he ended up going to the Braves. And get this, I want a little fun fact. He played till he was ready, 48 years old. You will probably never hear that again. 48 years old, he retired. You will never hear that again. I just wanted to put that out there. I thought that was pretty interesting. He and in that 24 season span, he was a five-time All-Star, a five-time Gold Glove Award winner. He finished top six in NL Cy Young Award balloting five times from 69 to 82. I really do think he should have won one. But that doesn't matter because he's in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, of course, he's most famous for the knuckleball. The knuckleball gave him 318 career wins, 5,404 innings pitched, which is the most by any pitcher ever. 342 career strikeouts, 3.35 career ERA, and obviously, of course, a plaque in Cooperstown. And this was written by Mark Bauman at MLB.com. First of all, obviously, like we always do, condolences to his family, condolences to his teammates, condolences, of course, to the Atlanta Braves and all the other teams that he played with. More specifically the Braves because that is the team he mainly played for. And of course, before I give it over to you, Mario, let's take a moment of silence for Phil Niekro. Thank you. Before I get to you, Mario, I just want to say Phil Niekro is the father of knuckleball pitchers. I mean, if you really think about it, back in the day, the knuckleball was like never a thing, and when he came into the league and he did that, it was like, what the hell is that? and it paved the way for so many pitchers, so many of these famous knuckleball pitchers of our generation. Obviously the most famous one that we know, him, a lot of people out there know him, is Tim Wakefield. And other pitchers like R.A. Dickey and Stephen Wright followed through with the knuckleball. And really think about it, all started with Phil Niekro.
Absolutely. But besides the knuckleball throwing, let me tell you something. For a pitcher to go 24 seasons in the MLB,
It's absolutely rare.
remember the pitcher gets a lot of surgeries because a lot of pitchers get Tommy John surgeries. They end up having problems with their arms. Their arms end up giving out on them. But for him to play 24 seasons in the MLB, it's ridiculous.
That
For
is.
him to play until he's 48, I mean, who knows? He could have had grandchildren at age 48. It's ridiculous. I'm not sure if he did, but he could have. It's ridiculous. And when I hear that stuff, I think of like Brett Favre and how he went till he was like 45 or
Yeah.
46. And I think of all those like legends. I think of Ken Griffey. I think when Ken Griffey Sr. went a long way.
Yeah, I did.
And I mean like,
Lou and Ryan went a long way too. He 25 seasons. He retired at like 45.
right. And I mean, honestly, I gotta give credit to Phil. I really do.
All
And
right.
then you look at his resume, and I mean, everything's there, bro. Like it reminds me of Casey Jones. He's done everything there is to do, besides obviously win a Cy Young, but again, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like again, 318 career wins, uh, 5,404 innings pitched, 3,342 career Ks. He had a career ERA of 3.35, and he's obviously in Cooperstown. I mean, first of all, career ERA of 3.35, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, and that's not bad at all. When you hear like a pitcher getting a 3.35 ERA and somebody going, well, that's not really a good ERA. That's a hell. I know a lot of Cy Young winners getting 3.35 ERAs, and they're
It's
winning
deep,
Cy Young.
especially in the era where there's so many balls being hit out of the park.
Absolutely. I mean, think about the guys he had to come across, like Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. These are the right times, right?
Um, Towards the end, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Mark
towards
McGuire was a little after, but Barry Bonds, I think when he started out was in the 80s.
right. And I mean, like you look at the '80s, and you look at like, I mean, you're trying to think of how many great hitters there were in the '80s, and you're really looking at it, and I mean, if you go 80s, we can talk about. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, because you know more about baseball than me. But like, I want to say like probably like Jim Rice,
Yeah,
if
I
I
think
am
Jim
right.
Rice was still.
Jim
Yeah,
Rice, like Mattingly.
I
Um,
think
correct me if
Reggie
I'm wrong.
Jackson was still playing at that time too.
Reggie Jackson,
Reggie Jackson.
Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah,
Like I mean, there were so many great hitters, and we're not even talking about the power hitters. We're talking about the guys who just contact,
Roberto
and
Clemente is another one
Clemente,
where he died.
absolutely. And then you go towards the end, and you're facing these bomb hitters like Barry Bonds. Like I mean, go 24 seasons in the NBA, I'm not the NBA. The MLB is ridiculous, bro. It
And
really,
and and obviously, of course, there are a lot of pitchers out there that went that long. Like, obviously, like I said, Nolan Ryan went 25 seasons and he retired at like 45. Bernie Johnson's another one. He went 22 seasons and he retired at 45 too. I want to mention his brother, Joe Niekro, because he went 22 seasons as well. I think he primarily played with the Yankees. If you're an old MLB fan, you could probably correct me with that. But yeah, he also had a brother that played in the MLB. He played 22 seasons. So especially in this day where there's a lot of surgeries. Back in the day, pitchers were strong as hell. And like I said, a lot of those guys that I named, and actually not a lot of them, all of them that I named, are from the old era. They all went that long distance, and it's just to see a player go to they're 48 years old, almost 50 years old to play sports in general. You'll never see it again. You just won't. A lot of people say Tom Brady's going to do it. I don't think he is. I really don't. I mean, to play sports, you're almost 50 years old. You got to have a lot of strength to do that. And Phil Niekro did, and that earns so much respect. With that said, may his soul rest in peace. Condolences to his family, condolences to all the teams he played for, and of course, condolences to his friends and his teammates.